Crispo here, and today we're going to talk about BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And we'll start at the beginning. The Bureau of Labor Statistics began their reporting as early as 1884 in the Department of Interior. In 1888, they became their own independent department for 15 years, and then in 1903 they joined the Department of Commerce and Labor. Eventually, in 1913, they transferred to Department of Labor and have resided since. The Bureau of Labor Statistics gives us much information on various areas within our economy. First thing we'll touch on is inflation. Inflation occurs when there is an increase in prices of goods and services. This means that every dollar buys a small portion of goods and services. This information is measured as an annual percentage increase. Because of inflation, the value of a dollar does not stay constant. But most generally, when inflation occurs, so does wages, which in turn will balance out the equation, allowing GDP to continue to rise under these circumstances. Next, we'll look at CPI, which is Consumer Price Index. As measured by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, August 2016 shows that the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers rose 0.2% on seasonally adjusted basis. Before the seasonal adjustment, all items rose 1.1% over the previous 12 months. The categories under all items are food, energy, and all items less food and energy. Food consists of such subcategories as food at home and food away from home. Energy consists of such subcategories as energy, commodities like fuel and energy services, such as electric. And all items under items less food and energy are things such as shelter, medical expenses, and material items. Looking at the Consumer Price Indexes, we will be able to see prices paid by urban consumers. This data that is shown on a monthly basis. By looking at this data, we can see where prices of goods and services may have increased or decreased. In this chart, we can see the changes of adjusted indexes, unadjusted percent change, and seasonally adjusted percent change. Now if we look over here at the chart, you can see that services less energy services right in here is a much higher than all the rest. And the orange part would be seasonally adjusted percent change, June 2016 to July 2016. And then the yellow area would be unadjusted indexes, July 2016. And here in the green area, we'll see the unadjusted indexes, August 2016. So from July to August, you can see the increase there. Next, we'll go on to PPI, Producer Price Index. The Producer Price Index of the Bureau of Labor Statistics is a gathering of indexes measuring average change over a period of time in the prices that are received by producers for domestically produced services and goods. This is all seen from the perspective of the seller. In this chart, we see a comparison of the Consumer Price Index, red, compared to the Producer Price Index, blue. There are similarities in the fact that in the last 20 years, from 1996 to 2016, there has been a steady increase. The CPI has remained more stable than the PPI. And you can see that up here, as there's not many fluctuations within the red mark, as opposed to the blue mark, which is PPI. And you can see there's quite a bit of fluctuations up and down. The CPI has remained more stable than the PPI, which shows that consumer prices remain on an even upslope and producer prices fluctuate quite often in an upslope, which could mean differences in GDP. Here we can notice that during the 2009 recession era, right in this area here, both CPI and PPI rose, but not dramatically. Even with the threats and possibilities, there seems to be little effect on consumer and producer price indexes. Now on to another thing that is measured by the Bureau of Labor Statistics: employment. So moving forward, we'll take a look at how employment is measured by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Labor force statistics show us quite a lot of information regarding employment, unemployment, and earnings. The Bureau of Labor Statistics put out an employment projection ranging from 2014 to 2024. In this projection, they say that healthcare will show the fastest growth. They base this information off the number of the population that will be reaching retirement age, which means the labor force participation rate will decrease and the growth of the labor force will slow down. Through all of this, the healthcare profession will increase to assist with those who become part of the decline in labor force participation. So basically what they're saying is people are going to be getting older, and as they get older, they're not going to be able to work in the labor force, such as retirees, disabled. And so, with that said, that means that there's going to be an upswing in the healthcare to take care of these people. It's going to be a continuous cycle. So on to our next thing, looking at the leisure time that people spend on an average day. Believe it or not, BLS does keep track of these things as far as leisure time and time spent. So looking here at this graph, we see percentages of minutes that people do on an average day. On an average day, relaxing and thinking usually takes up 17 minutes. And before I go any further, notice data includes all persons aged 15 and over. Data includes all days of the week and our annual averages for 2014. So this is, for 2014, this is the average they came up with for each day. So here we have a bigger section, playing games using computer for leisure, 27 minutes. Not a shocker there, right? Next one we have is participating in sports, exercise, and recreation, 17 minutes. So that's the same as relaxing. So we exercise as much as we relax. Interesting. Reading takes up 19 minutes. Socializing and communicating, 38 minutes. There's a bigger increase. But the biggest increase of all of them, watching TV, 2 hours and 49 minutes. So needless to say, we like our media. So looking more at the time that they measure, the American Time Use Survey will show us how people spend their time. In last year alone, 35 to 38% of people in business, professional, and financial positions conducted their work from home. Two areas that deal with time management that have increased are household activities such as cooking, lawn work, house cleaning, etc., and leisure activities such as exercising, lounging around, socializing, etc. 85% of men and 67% of women spend time daily doing household activities. 96% of all people 15 and older participate in leisure activities daily. So hopefully now you have a more understanding of what BLS is about. They do measure quite a few different areas, and the neat thing is you can go in and cross-reference and look at many journals that they publish. And Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this.